Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Senator McCain, and distinguished members of the committee. Thank you for inviting me and the Coast Guard to participate in today's hearing. I'm grateful for the opportunity to provide you with my views regarding the report's findings and the potential impacts of repealing Don't Ask, Don't Tell and the report's recommendations for implementation. Let me start by saying I'm very proud of our Coast Guard men and women. They are individuals of extraordinary character and abilities who readily engage in the communities in which they live and serve. I'm particularly proud of the strong response by our Coast Guardsmen and family members in reply to the surveys put out by the report. Our active duty response rate was 54%. Our reserve response rate was 39%, and our spouse response rate was 39%, which demonstrates their understanding of the importance of this issue. I concur with the report's recommendations on how to implement the repeal of the current law. Allowing gay and lesbian Americans to serve in the Coast Guard openly will remove a significant barrier to those Coast Guardsmen who are already serving capably and who have been forced to hide or even lie about their sexual orientation. Forcing these Coast Guardsmen to compromise our core values of honor, respect, and devotion to duty and to continue to serve is a choice they should not have to make. Now, I'm very respectful of the unique challenges facing each service, and I don't for a second suggest my circumstances and judgment would inform our very different responsibilities. My professional opinion is my own and comes from the two worlds in which I sit. The Coast Guard is at all times a military service governed by the laws this committee advances to ensure the effectiveness of our armed forces. Though small in numbers, we are integrated with our sister services around the world. But we're also tightly woven into the law enforcement and first responder communities in our nation. We work with federal, state, and local forces where gay and lesbian Americans serve with distinction and heroism. While I concur with the report's recommendations, prudence dictates that implementation must proceed with caution. I infer from the data relating to the Coast Guard that many Coast Guardsmen and their family members find gay and lesbian citizens in our service acceptable. However, minority views cannot be ignored. Moreover, there is no total force view. Views within our service communities vary to some degree. We must therefore fashion an implementation strategy that takes into account the attitudes that vary among our commands based upon where our people live and where they serve together. Thus, I ask the committee to avoid inferring from the report that implementation of this rather significant decision will be easy. I describe myself as a pragmatist, which I define as an optimist with experience. My experience leads me to conclude that we must inform you, our civilian leaders, that implementation will not be achieved without encountering challenges along the course ahead, some of which, despite our best efforts, we cannot foresee and which will likely take considerable time and resources to overcome. With that, I am absolutely confident that the Coast Guard leadership is prepared to implement any change that you direct. Moreover, I do not harbor the slightest doubt that Coast Guard men and women will be up to the task and will sustain their high levels of professionalism and effectiveness should the law change. They prove every day that they are among America's best, and I have unshakable confidence in their ability to weather change of this magnitude. Again, thank you for the opportunity to testify today, and I look forward to your questions.